What's up, this is Nak3d Eli, the mostly unclothed gamer, here with the best loadouts for Halo 4. These are some recommendations that you guys have been asking for pretty much since day one, saying, Eli, we've never seen loadouts in a Halo game before. What do you recommend for the different maps, game types, playlists, etc.? So here are my 5 favorite loadouts that I've taken to in the course of the last month. My opinions have really changed depending on different uses and strategies that I've seen employed. So let's dig right into it, starting off with the Jetpack mod. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to say that the DMR is the best primary rifle. I know that people are still debating over this, but all in all, it has a 3x scope, very fast rate of fire, it's very accurate at close and long range, and it also has one of the fastest clip to kill time ratios, meaning that you can kill 2 4/5 of a person with 1 clip, which is only bested by the light rifle scoped in. So I'll make a full analysis video on all that stuff, but for this video, all intents and purposes, let's say the DMR is the weapon of choice. Moving on to the secondary, the Boltshot is amazing. It has the community of competitive players up in a bunch, all the MLG guys talking about how it's overpowered, it shouldn't even be allowed in competitive play. It's basically a shotgun in your pocket. It's much more powerful than even the Mauler from Halo 3, so always use this guy if you can, especially on close quarters maps. Moving on to grenades, the Frag is the grenade of choice for me. I can launch it further than most grenades, I feel, given the bounce of it, and it explodes near instantly, whereas opponents can easily dodge plasmas and pulse grenades in most scenarios. So let's go with the Frag. Armor ability, this is the Jetpack loadout, so obviously we're going to go with the Jetpack here. There are a lot of good armor abilities in the game, but for most maps there's a lot of verticality, power positions. Off spawn you want to be able to get a height advantage on your opponents or help your teammates out across the map. The Jetpack has always been incredibly useful, and even though it isn't game breaking in Halo 4 like it is in Reach, it's still very, very useful. Now, to couple that with the tactical package, AA efficiency, what this does is double the rate at which your armor abilities regenerate. So Jetpack normally regens every 7 seconds. With the AA efficiency, that means every 3.5 seconds you have a full Jetpack at your disposal, which really helps with your vertical battles. And finally, support upgrade ammo is my favorite support upgrade in the game. It's amazing. It does 3 things. Not only does it increase the ammunition that you start with on your starting weapons by, I think, 2 clips, but it also almost doubles the amount of ammo that you can carry with each weapon. It's all an extra 2 clips to be precise. And this works on ordnance drops, so you can get an extra couple rockets, some extra snipe ammo, extra binary rifle. It's an amazingly, amazingly powerful support upgrade. Dexterity used to be my favorite until I discovered how useful ammo was, and this is, I'd say, more useful if you're trying to get montage clips or get some flashy gameplay in. Now, I also wanted to mention that these are pre-specializations. So for example, I have the fast track mod unlocked, and I'll use this when I'm playing to rank up faster. But for all intents and purposes, let's assume this is pre-specializations, and maybe at the end of the video, I'll talk a little bit about which specializations you should choose first to get whichever abilities you want. So that is my favorite loadout that I use probably 90% of the time. Moving on to, let's say I'm on a flatter map, Jetpack isn't as useful. I'm going to go with Promethean vision. I'm going to start still with the DMR Boltshot Frag. That's sort of my standard. But armor ability, switch it to PV. This is really useful also for people who are hiding. You know, you have campers on certain maps. Even though they don't show up fully red, you can still see their outlines and sniff them out. Tactical package, since it's tends to be horizontal maps that are more long form, sort of like Exile, mobility usually helps me move around. This is also a good loadout if you're trying to get perfections and trying to stay alive a lot. Mobility can help you escape a lot of battles, and PV can show you where the enemy is coming from. Moving on to objective, this is especially useful for King of the Hill and Oddball, but can also apply to Flag. I've got the standard DMR Boltshot Frag, and we're going to switch the armor ability to a Regeneration field, or Regen. With Regen, basically, you get your shields back instantly, and couple that with the tactical package shielding. Now, the designers did not want you to be overpowered with this combo, but I found a way, actually my buddy GameSager told me about it, that you can go to the edge of the Regeneration field, and once you step out of it, the shielding effect comes into play. So shielding doubles the rate at which your shields regenerate once they start coming back. It doesn't decrease the delay of recharge between when you're damaged and when you're regenning your shields. So what you have to do is hit the regen, then step out of it, and then if you keep getting shot, step back into the regen, and then step back out immediately, and your shields will continue to come back, but at double the rate. So this is really useful if you're trying to defend a hill and you want to keep a near full shield as grenades are coming at you. And speaking of grenades, we're going to use the explosive support upgrade because you're going to have a lot of grenades thrown at you. This decreases by 33% how much grenade damage you receive, and it increases the amount of grenade damage that you can do, or at least the blast radius of it, by almost 20%. So you know that in hill, you're just gonna be dying a lot, spawning with grenades and chucking them at people. So this is a really great loadout I found for playing, whether it's hill, oddball, trying to defend the oddball, or even if you're defending your own flag as enemies are coming in. This is a fantastic loadout. BTB, a lot of players love BTB. I'll often see that the playlist has more players in it than even Infinity Slayer. So we're gonna do DMR to start. Definitely want this on BTB for the long range. Light rifle is also a fantastic choice, especially when it's scoped. But for secondary, we're finally going to switch that Boltshot to a plasma pistol. This is going to allow us to overcharge those Banshees, Mantises, all the vehicles coming at us, Ghosts, Warthogs, and then grenades switch to plasma grenades so you can stick these vehicles also if they come right by you or after you overcharge them and you want to get a couple sticks in to destroy them. The plasmas are incredibly powerful against vehicles in Halo 4. Now also we're going to use regen. I find on a lot of maps, think of Ragnarok, think of Longbow, where you're sitting on a particular location fighting enemies across the map. This is going to help you keep your shields near full. And also, since you have 8 players on your team, I'd say everyone on like Pelican or top mid on Ragnarok should all have regen and just constantly switch out so that you always have a regeneration field up, getting your shield back as much as possible. Tactical package, you could have shielding to use the same glitch that we found earlier, if it's even considered a glitch, I don't know. Or you could have mobility, which will help you get to those spots more quickly and help you get across the map fastest to help out your teammates. I personally prefer the infinite sprint so that I can run around the map and get away from enemies as fast as possible. And then finally, these are all for casual playlists and game types, trying to get perfections, playing against weaker enemies, and just having fun in general. My final loadout is for super competitive tryhards. These are games that you know are going to end basically like 600 to 590, just super close. These are guys whose names you recognize, pro players. So for the competitive players out there, this is the loadout I'd recommend in these situations. They tend to be on 4v4 close range maps. So we're going to go with, again, the DMR Boltshot Frag, but we're also going to use the Promethean Vision. Now the reason that I recommend this over the other armor abilities is you always want to know where your enemy is spawning. If you can predict their spawn and you can see where they're moving, you have a huge advantage with that knowledge. So I recommend Promethean Vision instead of even, let's say, Thruster Pack, which is very useful for evading and using it across the map in particular situations, horizontally, close quarters combat. And Jetpack, of course, for its verticality is also very useful. Camo, a lot of people like to use, whether it's 4v4 or BTB, but that's more for passive players. So, I mean, honestly, try out what you will, but I'd say PV is the way to go in most game types. Then tactical package, we're going to focus on grenades. A lot of times in these game types, you're spawning, dying, so you don't need a ton of ammo. You don't need dexterity to reload quickly because you're barely getting through a whole clip sometimes. In tactical package, you're not going to be running a bunch. So ultimately, I find that having one more grenade, this gives you 3 frags to start, and then explosives means that all of your grenades have almost 20% more range, something around there, and you take less grenade damage from all these other pros or tryhard gamers who are throwing tons of grenades right at your feet. This is going to help you stay alive longer and do more damage. So all in all, those are my 5 recommended loadouts pre-specialization. Really fast, I guess, to go through what I would recommend. For support upgrade, stability is a great mod. I've used it at PAX and E3, not at E3, what was the other one? Comic-Con. It's fantastic. I have yet to unlock it, but it basically stabilizes your weapon while either scoped in or not scoped in from incoming fire. It's from the Rogue specialization. And then tactical package, fast track is Pioneer if you want to use that off the start to get those extra XP. It's like 500 extra XP per matchmaking game. So instead of 3,000 XP, you get like 3,500. It's actually very useful and a lot more than I thought they would give you. And then there's other ones obviously for BTB, the operator. So all in all, I might make another video with those loadouts. And that's pretty much it for this video. So let me know what you think about these loadouts in the comments, and check out these code videos if you have not seen them already. This is Nak3d Eli. Subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching.